Hi, I'm Oris, and this is a bookmarking guide. In this guide, I'll be using footage of my own probing routine for you to follow. I'll organize my probing routine into phases and break down each phase with details that help me stay efficient. I've named the phases in my routine the cataloging phase, the probing phase, the bookmarking phase, and the mapping phase. These phases form a routine to follow as well as a cycle that any prober can inject themselves into, allowing for ease of collective effort. Let's begin. The cataloging phase begins with the copy and pasting of signatures into our Pathfinder site. We'll begin in our home wormhole system as our starting example. Select a signature in the probe scanner window and Ctrl-A to select all of the signatures in the probe scanner window. When selected, Ctrl-C copies all of these signatures. Once copied, select your current system in Pathfinder and Ctrl-V to paste your signatures. Pathfinder may prompt you for your assurance if ESI does not recognize your character to be in the same system you are attempting to paste signatures in. Once pasted, the Signatures panel can be sorted by type, created, and updated. These sortings are useful in revealing new, unknown signatures, updating existing signatures, and revealing expired signatures. The lazy delete function can also be used to remove signatures that no longer exist. The lazy delete function can be toggled by selecting the two horizontal arrows at the top right of the Signatures panel in Pathfinder. The lazy delete function recognizes signature results as you paste them that were not updated and removes them automatically from the Signatures panel. With this in mind, be cautious and mindful when using the lazy delete function, as it has the potential to remove previous progress made by yourself or other probers. This concludes the cataloging phase. Concluding this process should determine which signatures should be scanned. The probing phase comes next and involves scanning each signature in a solar system. As you probe, you may choose to ignore non-wormhole signatures manually, or, alternatively, filters can be added through the probe scanner window. Once you have probed a system completely, clear your ignored results and paste your signatures into Pathfinder to update them or add them. This concludes the probing phase. Begin the bookmarking phase by applying a wormhole filter to both Pathfinder's Signatures panel as well as your probe scanner window. You'll notice that as we sort both the probe scanner window and Signatures panel, both tables will be sorted identically. This makes the bookmarking phase flow more easily. Notice how the sorting proves to be useful, as the first wormhole signature on our probe scanner window will also be the first wormhole on our Signatures panel, allowing for ease of editing as we visit each wormhole signature. We'll begin by warping to the first wormhole on our probe scanner window. As we arrive at the signature, let's update the type field in Pathfinder to N062. This signature we've warped to reveals the signature to be one of two static wormholes in our Class 2 wormhole system, a wormhole N062. Information about our static wormholes can be found in the Wormhole Space panel in Pathfinder with our wormhole system selected. Before we resume the bookmarking phase, let's briefly introduce the core ideas to the system. It's important to discern the differences between wormhole connections and the wormhole systems they lead to. For this guide, we will be using numerals as a sequence base by which to name the solar systems. We'll also be creating bookmarks for wormhole connections and naming them to reflect the connection they represent using these numerals. Our wormhole system serves as the origin for our map. We'll denote our wormhole system as 0. Although we may not know which specific system this wormhole N062 leads to, we will designate whichever system it does lead to be called Solar System 2, or just 2. Similarly, whichever solar system our wormhole E545 leads to, we will designate Solar System 1, or just 1. These names of solar systems our static wormholes lead to are fixed given that only one of each connection exists at one time. Let's cover how we will create a bookmark name for the location of this wormhole N062. We will structure our bookmark name to reflect where I am and where I am going. We are currently in our home, which we have designated to be named 0, and although we do not know specifically which solar system this wormhole N062 leads to, we know it to be named 2. We will create the bookmark name as 0-2, since we are in our home 0 and will arrive in 2 if the wormhole connection is jumped. Let's also enter the bookmark name that we have designated in the description field of the signature that we've bookmarked. Let's visit our second wormhole signature. As we arrive at the signature, we find that this wormhole E545 is our nullsec static and leads to null security space. Let's first edit the type field in Pathfinder to reflect this information. Although we may not know which specific system this leads to, we will name the location of the wormhole 0-1, since it leads from our home 0 to solar system 1 through our nullsec static. Let's once again add our designated bookmark to the description field within the signature that we've warped to and bookmarked. Let's warp to our third wormhole signature. As we arrive at the signature, let's once again update the type field in Pathfinder to reflect this K162 wormhole that leads to dangerous unknown space. This wormhole is the first non-static wormhole we have encountered in our home wormhole system. To follow the sequence, we will name the wormhole system that this K162 wormhole leads to 3. Similarly, we will name the location of the wormhole that leads to wormhole system 3, 0-3, since we are currently in home 0 and would arrive in 3 if the wormhole is jumped. Let's once again update the description field to our bookmark name 0-3. Let's warp to our fourth wormhole signature. As we arrive at the wormhole signature, let's update the type field in Pathfinder to K162 unknown parts of space. Following the sequence, this is our fourth wormhole to bookmark, and we will designate the solar system this leads to solar system 4, or just 4. As such, the name of our bookmark for this wormhole K162 will be 0-4. Let's visit our fifth and final wormhole signature. Let us once again update the type field in Pathfinder, this time to D382. Following the sequence, we will designate the solar system this wormhole leads to as 5. And following our convention, we will name the bookmark of the location of the wormhole 0-5. Following bookmarking of the wormhole, let us once again update the description to reflect the bookmark name which we have designated. This completes the bookmarking phase. Let's begin the final phase, the mapping phase. Let us warp to our first wormhole that leads to solar system 1. We'll warp to our bookmark 0-1 in order to jump the wormhole that leads from our home 0 to solar system 1. This is our nullsec static where we find most of our content, so using this guide, the bookmark to this connection will always be at the top. The mapping phase consists of adding connections to our Pathfinder map. This is accomplished either manually or automatically through ESI tracking. Let us jump our 0-1 wormhole connection and observe Pathfinder's mapping functionality. Once the system is mapped and the connection created, be sure to rename the system on Pathfinder by double-clicking and editing the alias. Be sure to appropriately name to satisfy the bookmark you have designated for it. For case-based connections, be sure to include the alias as well as the solar system name. This effort makes for easier destination selection and chain navigation. Before we return to our home wormhole system, let's first create the bookmark that leads back to our home wormhole system. We are currently in the solar system we have named 1. In order to satisfy where I am - where I am going, we will name this wormhole 1-0 since we are currently in 1 and would arrive in 0, our home, if the wormhole is jumped. Follow these steps for each bookmark you have created. We can notice the utility of applying filters to the probe scanner window and Pathfinder signatures panel once again, as once we have repeated the process of mapping for each bookmark, we can simply edit the leads to column quickly and easily reference our bookmark names. Let's briefly visit the application of this process to wormhole systems other than our home wormhole system. As an example, I am currently in solar system 4. From here, I will repeat the cataloging process and probing process. I would like to place emphasis on the bookmarking phase in this step as to better familiarize the viewer with how to designate solar system and bookmarked connection names. As previously, let's begin by warping to our first wormhole signature. Let's warp to the first wormhole signature in solar system 4. Since we are currently in solar system 4, and this is the first wormhole we have encountered in solar system 4, we will call the solar system that this wormhole leads to 4-1. Using our convention, we will bookmark the wormhole that leads to 4-1, 4-41, such that it satisfies the where I am - where I am going convention. The subsequent wormhole connections will be bookmarked 4-42, 4-43, 4-44, and so on. The solar systems these connections lead to will respectively be named 42, 43, 44, and so on. With this system, each solar system in our chain will have a unique name. Each unique solar system name contains the exact sequence of solar systems and connection bookmarks required to arrive at that solar system. You'll notice also that with this pattern, the return bookmark will cleverly appear at the top, making for easy return trips through the wormhole chain. Let's quickly review an example of what the drop-down menu would look like in another solar system. This is Solar System 4.3. For the 5 wormhole signatures in Solar System 4.3, the connection of the first encountered wormhole signature is named 43-431, the second 43-432, and so on. Notice also that for a solar system name with n number of digits, the return bookmark contains n-1 digits and appears at the top, while subsequent wormholes leading further away from the origin contains n+1 digits. My hope for you, the viewer, after watching this guide is that you now understand how to bookmark efficiently and how to use the standard matched by our other members. Thank you for watching, and happy mapping!